awaits in Sunday's final.
Judd Trump to break.
It's a packed house here on this Saturday night for the second semi-final of the Northern Ireland Open. Judd Trump looking to win this title for a fifth time. Elliot Slesser sort of coming onto his terrain, isn't he? Trump spent all week on this table. Of course, it has been reclothed after the quarterfinals last night. He's played very well on the outside tables, and it's a great opening. He has to show the belief that he does have, but he's got to, of course, handle Trump as well. But got to try and project that confidence and also clearly not leave his opponent easy chances. It's a fascinating matchup, Neil, isn't it? Because Trump is the favourite, clearly, but you've got to get the job done.
Indeed, yeah. I think Elliot Slesser is capable of beating him. He seems to play well against the leading players. But, you know, the environment and, like you say, he's been brought into the match arena tonight, having played mostly on outside tables, if not exclusively. So he'll have to play well because Trump has been in good form all week. Not least the way he played against Sean Murphy yesterday evening. He gets stuck in there. I think he's capable of playing a big part in this match if he plays well. I think he believes that he's not on that red. Perhaps with a little bit of side he could have got to it, but... And I think he is hard-working. I think he's got a decent all-round game. Whether all of those ingredients will be enough tonight, of course, we'll have to find out. But Judd's brand of snooker is, you know, his safety I thought was excellent. Not only yesterday, but both all week. But that, of course, is secondary to how he pots and scores, which is what the game is, after all.
Slesser has beaten him at the British Open in 2021. It was actually only a best of 5. Trump's won the other 4 meetings, but he does have a win over him. And of course, he was a semi-finalist here, Slesser, back in 2017, the first time it was staged at the Waterfront. Mark Williams beat him 6-2, but he's much improved since then. And he's going to make his way into the top 32 at the end of this tournament, even if he loses tonight.
Another good safety shot, blocking off the left side of the table. It's very cluttered on the right side here. That's applying the containing safety shot. I think he's left a red to left middle, though, which Trump might be interested in. He always looks to attack where possible, Judd Trump. This occasion just waiting one, but he's interested in keeping the left side of the table blocked off, although there just could be a little route across there now, which Trump didn't mean to leave. Given Slesser something to think about here, with the 2 reds blocking off the red close to the pocket. playing cushion first. He chanced his arm there, hoping that he would get lucky with landing on a high-value colour. It's not quite happened. He played it confidently, though. At great pace. Here, he took a risk there playing it that slowly, because the ball can just drift away somewhat. Only just made contact with the yellow. Now he's fluked the red, but what is next on the agenda is, are they going to roll up behind the brown or play it to middle, which is what more likely to happen. If you get a fluke, you must take advantage. There's no point in feeling a little bit guilty or that you shouldn't progress with it from there. Playing that with right-hand side, and I think that's why he missed it. Trying to play it with side to finish low on the black. See the cue ball came off the cushion and went down. Plain ball, I don't see him missing the shot, but that would not allow him to get position on the black.
Well, he got the bit of luck, but didn't make the most of it. It was a good brown, but now Judd Trump, he's at the table. This is his 65th semi-final appearance in a ranked event, so he's got all the experience in the world, including, of course, at this venue, which clearly he really rates as one of the very best on the circuit. I'm sure a lot of snooker fans would love to see the world number one against the world champion tomorrow. Elliot Slesser obviously not amongst them, but of course they have played Wilson and Trump in a final already this season in China. Wilson got the win that day. Anyway, he's got a job to do tonight to make that happen.
Seven.
It's landed a bit awkward there. Playing on the blue, he's gone too far. He never looks the most natural rest player. I don't know why it is. He uses the rest right-handed despite being a lefty. Looks as if he's quite as good as Kyron Wilson's and Sean Murphy. He doesn't seem to miss many with it, but doesn't seem to have that same way of hitting the ball as them. See him again here with the rest. It's a little bit jabby with it, but they still seem to drop. That's a brilliant shot. I mean, it really is. Those other names I mentioned, Messrs. Wilson and Murphy, could not have played that any better than he did.
No, I mean, it's hard really now to find a weakness, isn't it, in Trump's game? All the elements that have come together the last few years.
19.
Including the work rate, of course, that we don't see off the table. He says he likes to try and play snooker every day. I'm not saying he plays all day every day, but he likes to keep ticking over.
Yeah, I mean, as a snooker player, I'm sure a lot of people play this game who are watching, but if you don't play for a few days, you do feel a little strange when you get back. It's not as if you immediately slip back into what you were doing. So for him to just keep his hand in every day is certainly a good way of going about it.
Yeah, I mean, he doesn't really have time for hobbies, does he? All these weekends seem to be taken up being in semi-finals and finals.
All I'll say about that is that there's been many a player over the years that have had regrets that have not put more into it while they've been somewhere near the top of the game. And when it's all gone, they wish they'd put a bit more in. But Judd could never have any regrets because he has put it all in. You know, he's devoted his life to this game. He enjoys himself when he's not playing. Looking to cannon the couple of reds.
40.
I don't know, there's a thin red that might continue the break, but maybe it looks a little easier on the screen than it actually is.
Foul. Judd Trump 40. Elliot's lesser.
It was actually a good break of 40 when there wasn't necessarily a lot on, but it's a long way from being a conclusive break.
Well, the fact he went in off leaves this red on. It's lesser.
One.
Yeah, shake of the head. He sort of finished a bit of no man's land, really.
Straight away looking to bring the pink into play. Not attempting to pot anything and chase a break there.
He'd obviously love to reach his first final. I'm sure many of you were watching the Welsh Open where he lost pretty agonisingly to Martin O'Donnell. In the decider, O'Donnell made a century, and we saw Elliot in his seat going through absolute agonies that he wasn't getting a chance in the frame that would have got him through to the final.
Yeah, I think that was a match where he had all those notes written down, didn't he? And kept on getting bits of paper in them. Well, I think he feels he can take this on to left middle. Chance of getting on the pink, or very easily getting on the pink. This is where Judd is so good. Good at getting in from fairly unusual areas on the table.
7.
Said the other day that you wouldn't practice a shot like that. You know, invariably, the certain practice routines are formulaic. But with Judd, he seems to be a good shot maker when something different comes along.
Yes, and a good player of the percentages as well. I mean, I guess that red could have stayed near the middle, but it was the only one he could possibly have left.
8.
Chip that one into play. And he will need that open. 41 the lead with the blue, so that red and a colour. And it looks like his frame.
13. 14.
Just double checking the scores, which will tell him that the man in the chair, Elliot Slesser, needs a snooker here. 1 to tie. Now, basically, he's not going to come back to the table with a chance of winning if he comes back to the table at all. I think he looked sharp all week, you know. I mean, it's not always the case with Judd Trump that he comes into the tournament firing on all cylinders, but as the week goes on, he gets better. I think in the matches I've seen of him, he's played well the whole week. Been dangerous, sharp. He's started tonight pretty well. Let's be honest, it's a good frame. It's not a spectacular frame, but he's potted some good balls in it.
Yeah, I mean, I've actually done all his matches, and you're right, he's been superb. And when he has been pressed, he's found a response. And now the exhibition's begun. What's it going to be for this yellow? Watch out in the front row, maybe. Hello? Oh, he was close, wasn't he? Well, Elliot Slesser did have that fluke, didn't he? But not much came from it. And Judd Trump is off and running as he attempts to reach the final yet again. He leads 1-0. Well, we can treat ourselves to a few stats. He's only had one frame, but already very good for Trump. And you can just see the confidence in him. But as I say, in all areas this week, he's been strong. So if he has been pressed, and he had to make a couple of clearances against Barry Hawkins. Matt Selt pushed him early on as well, but he found a response. Highest break, they're only 40, but in the end, he rather dominated the frame. Slesser did have the chance with that fluke, but very quickly after that, Mr. Red. Long way to go. First to 6 to play Karen Wilson in the final. Second semi-final of the Northern Ireland Open underway here in Belfast. Judd Trump, the defending champion, leads Elliot Slesser 1-0.
I get the second frame.
Karen Wilson
Elliot Slesser to break.
waiting in the final. He said he wouldn't be watching, but I suspect he'll be aware of what's happening as the night goes on.
And we've lost the score.
there might be an issue with the scoreboard. I heard Leo Scullin mention that to the marker. I think they've got it back now.
Played two good shots here, not only the first red, but a very neat positional shot from the green there. This is the problem that Elliot Slesser is having that others have had this week.
5.
It's so hard to keep him cold, keep him off the table for long, because he seems to find a way. You leave a red out off your break-off shot and you're likely to have a sit down for a while. So he's away again here.
Top team. $20. $21.
Yeah, so I think he tried to just nudge off the bunch there, but the Reds, if anything, became even more tightly grouped. He's hoping to push one or two of the Reds out, I think. So now it's going to have to be from his next colour. So he's gone slightly wrong in the last two shots, but it's still a way of bringing it all back. This only just struggled into the pocket.
$29.
Yeah. Gradually, the breaker's grinding to a halt.
Rainbow. Judd Trump, 29. Foul, no miss. Judd Trump, 4. Yes, sir. Good.
Don't get the feeling it's going to amount to many points,
Thanks,
or that Elliot is going to eventually leave Judd in from this.
Okay, Judd, thanks.
He's just got to slightly adjust it and go further up the cushion to widen the angle, which he's done. Heavy-handed. I wonder if in fact he has left the red to middle, which would be a difficult one. Sure. I've certainly had a look at it, but not playing it. Already sort of Elliot is giving him a 33-point start in this frame, because basically not much has happened, but Judd's already away. Evidence of the same thing, isn't it? It's just so difficult to sort of keep him calm and quiet. Playing the cross double without a huge amount of risk attached to it.
Three. Four.
We've said it before, but this Northern Ireland Open has been very significant in his career because in 2018 he came here, he'd only won 8 ranking events. I say only, that's still a lot, but he wasn't necessarily a regular winner. But once he won this one, the floodgates opened. Not only kept on winning this, he kept on winning lots of other tournaments, and if he gets to the final tomorrow, he'll be looking to win his 30th ranking title. So he's gone from 8 to possibly 30 in 6 years.
12. Nineteen. 20.
Well, if he pots this 60 in front, there's still 75 on with those 6 reds, 6 blacks and all the colours. So there is a little bit more work to do. I think the clearance, the counter clearance, if he broke down, would be tough anyway. But that positional shot right behind the red to middle.
27. 28.
In some ways, it's quite a remarkable frame, this, because he's won it very quickly. Elliott has not really done a great deal wrong. He's left him a cross double. He broke off, left a red out. That's all he's done. The frame's over.
Yeah, I mean, his only real mistake in the match was in that first frame, wasn't it? When he got the fluke, potted the brown, missed the red to right corner. But otherwise, he's been sort of outmanoeuvred.
Yeah, I think he and a number of others, because there's not really a player I could ever compare to Judd Trump. Often you see a player and you think, well, he plays like so-and-so player in the past. And the type of snooker he plays is a very potent mix of brilliant potting, obviously a break builder, but a very sort of one-off break builder with his style and the way that he keeps potting difficult balls.
42.
Thundering him into pockets most of the time as well. He's not a touch sort of precision player, but you need.
But he's determined to get on the black there because he could just make a century with blacks. So that's what he's thinking of. Got it back on its
49.
spot.
Well, it would be a good century where the green and the brown are as well, wouldn't it? I mean, it would be
50.
some effort to make one from here. I mean, of anybody, he's probably the most likely. The way he pots balls.
There's no doubt either way, thoroughly settled into this match, just really carrying on the form that we've seen all week.
58.
So if Slessor does get, and it's a big if at the moment, but he really is going to have to respond in kind if he can get a clear-cut chance.
Yeah, and he's not really got the angle
65.
to finish right behind the black unless he uses a lot of side on this or plays a high black.
66.
Maybe at the left-hand side. Well, green to brown to blue
73.
are going to be worth seeing if he can make them happen. I think he's going to have to hit this about 1,000 miles an hour, I think, to get anywhere near the brown.
team.
Oh, what a shot this is. It's a bit on the cue ball there because he has absolutely zipped angles.
Not to be, but a valiant effort and a great start to the night for Judd Trump. 78 the break. And already in 27 minutes, he's 2-0 up. So it's been really all Judd Trump so far. Well, this was the fluke that Slesser got in the first frame, and he took on the brand, got it, which was a very positive shot.
Yeah, it was just the shot he played here. He's using right of centre striking just to finish down below the two reds and finish low on the black. And of course, using side, you can miss balls. This was a good rest shot by Judd Trump. This is the ball he missed. You know, he occasionally misses one, all you can say. But he started the match quite well in knocking that ball into play. The frame is still live at this point, but not for an awful lot longer. He's knocked in two doubles already. That one into that pocket, and in the second frame we're probably going to get to see another double that he played, which was the reason he got in for that break. This is the double, cross double this time, rather than a sort of standard sort of double. He got very nicely in behind that red, I felt, to middle, which could have been missable. His little nudge that he played, I think, earlier in the break than that last shot, but either way, it's good to watch just the way he's playing, opening the balls up, playing shots in his own style. No century, but just about everything else he could have achieved there, he did.
Well, this is the campaign so far. Of course, Trump, the Shanghai Masters, is not a ranking event, but it's a huge tournament. He won over 200,000 actually in winning it. And of course, Saudi Arabia, $500,000, that is a ranking event. In between, he was runner-up to Karen Wilson in the Zhang Grand Prix. Could they meet again tomorrow? Of course, since then, we've seen wins for Neil Robertson at the English Open, Mark Selby at the British Open, and a new ranking event winner in Zhao Guodong at the Wuhan Open. So it's been a mixed season, but Judd Trump appears on that list more than anyone else. And who's to say he won't be adding his name to it after tomorrow? We'll see. First of all, he's got to get to 6 tonight, but he's made a great start. Elliot Slesser just leaving the arena between frames. As I say, it's really about whether he can get himself nicely in. He's not really had that much table time so far tonight. Well, a great stage for snooker, isn't it? The Waterfront Hall here in Belfast, and Judd Trump has graced it many times, and early signs are he'll be doing so again tomorrow in the final. He's 2-0 up in this race to 6. A lot of reds have come into play here, haven't they, off the break-off?
Well, he's avoided the double kiss, and you're right, it was quite an attacking break. I don't know what's changed about the break-off shot. If you go back a few years, there were players who would hit higher up on the bunch and hit sort of the third red down. And I'm not sure that shot will be possible now, but if you get the cue ball back, you could really get your opponent in all kinds of trouble. But I don't think the way that the balls and the cloths have changed, that attacking break is really on these days. No one plays it any differently to anyone else, but just hit the last but one red, and as Dave said, sort of open them up quite nicely. That's the sort of break I think you'd be happy to be able to do every time.
Just on the last frame, you might say, well, why does he really want another century? But he's made 32 this season. There is a bonus prize. If anyone could make 100 during the season, they get 100,000. Now, that's still a very tall order, but clearly he's top of that list and wanted another one.
where he's pointing his cue there. Might not leave the red to middle. There is his brother, Jack, who's, again, keeping low profile at the back there, Dave.
Well, he seems to get him further back every time we see him. Every time we've seen him each evening, he's sat further back. But he's keeping an eye on proceedings. Yeah, we've been saying all week he's a very important part of the setup. And the first tournament he was with Judd was this one in 2018, the one I mentioned earlier. The start of it all, really.
Well, it's a pretty good shot from Slesser there. Again, it's risky to open the balls up and leaving anything on, but he guided it back nicely. Good shot. So he's probably going to have to still be in attack and defence, really, and hope that he can keep Trump at bay. If he went into his shell, he'd probably lose anyway. Might as well play with attacking intent. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see him come round and look. I mean, I'm not sure there was any intent to pop that ball. Any thoughts of it being a plant?
Well, just for a moment, I thought he was going to get a dream kiss, but he can put Slesser in trouble with so many reds in the open.
Judd Trump 1.
Yes, he's not winning any battles right now, is he, Slesser? I thought he played quite a good shot on that last safety shot. Then the one red goes in off the other, and his next shot now he's under it again here. He's being swamped somewhat, but it's just 2 frames in. At the moment, he's not really got any answers to what Trump is throwing at him.
Foul and a miss. Judd Trump 4. Yeah.
Well, if the referee is not sure of his touching ball, it shows you how close he was. Have another look at this. I mean, how far away is that from hitting it? 0.5 millimetre?
It kind of sums up the evening so far and away.
Thanks.
For Slesser. These little bits of running, they're going to come and go for you, and obviously managing that in your own mind is also a challenge. Yeah, the cue ball just travelled far enough for Slesser to cover that.
There was a mistake, all right. And one of the few we've seen from Trump hit the red too thick in contact. 22 minutes, just coming up 23 since he last potted the ball, and that's probably is the main reason he missed that one. And this is not a good sign because he knows what he's got to do when the chances come. But he's missed the first red. Doesn't bode well.
No, because it's been so hard to get chances. And so he'll be so disappointed not to pot that.
One.
And Trump, of course, will be on the other side of the coin, determined now to punish and make him really think about that in his seat.
Not easy for him to get onto the black, but really there are so many reds in the middle of the table that he can chip away around the blue and the pink quite comfortably here.
7. Well. $13. $18. $19.
Gibble just made it past the blue spot here, so he's perfectly able to get from blue to red.
$24. $25.
That certainly tidies up the table a bit, getting the blue and the pink back on their spots.
21. $32.
Very well worked break. I know the balls are pretty easy, but he just managed to get through that gap now for the pink. A huge area to land in behind. But he's found it. Wow. Well, there's a collector's item. I'm not sure how he missed that one because there was no evidence he was about to.
No, well, if Elliot Slessor does win this match tonight, that's where it starts. As long as he now gets involved, because this is a chance he really shouldn't have had.
1.
Got into the game through his granddad, who's his biggest
6.
supporter. He bought him a table for Christmas when he was 8. That's a story as old as time, isn't it, for a lot of certainly British snooker players. A 6-foot table at Christmas.
Could you stop rustling that paper, please?
Bit of rustling putting him off. Well,
Elliot's lesser 6.
He's having a little look over there. I don't know what exactly that was, but it seemed it affected his concentration.
Well, yeah, that look was a lot of displeasure, whatever it was that upset him. Not too sure what happened there.
Thank you. One.
I don't know if that last bit is still in his mind, but he hit that ridiculously hard. And at first I was just watching the replay that I thought it bounced out the pocket, but it didn't. It was all a blur, however. He definitely wobbled it, but he did not belt it, didn't he? Missing a couple now. That pink, I think, it's just set him off slightly into a moment of surprise. He's still looking over Elliot, you know, at somebody in the audience.
Yeah, he's got to let all of that go now because he wasn't punished ultimately. And he's still in this frame.
Point out that into the paper.
Looks pretty good. That just might calm him down a bit, because I think he was getting a little flustered about something in the audience was annoying him. Hopefully that's all gone now. Played a nice shot there. He's still 30 behind, but both players have just hit the buffers a little bit the last few shots. Be worse.
Well, at least he's back in this frame. The Trump charge has been halted by that Miss Pink and been a little ragged since then, you've got to say.
I think one thing you can probably expect is that it's all going to start up again soon, though, with Judd, if the chances come and if no pressure is put on him. You crank it all up and be back to normal within a few shots from now. Elliot's got to just get his own composure. I don't think he's... I think he lost it for a few shots there. was a difficult safety shot. He's a bit unlucky to push that red to where he has, in fact, but that's what's happened.
Yeah, it was rather disconsolate walk back to the seat, wasn't it?
If you want to continue, you have the score.
Well, there's another issue with the scoreboard. It's enough to think about, isn't there, when you're playing snooker without all that?
Point.
I think scoreboard, something happened to it. Judd would like to carry on because he's in, generally speaking, good stroke, and he doesn't want to hang around while they turn something on and off again, whatever it is that he's going to need doing.
Eight.
Obviously, Trump will have picked up on Slessor's general demeanour, and that's why he'll be determined now to make good on this chance, having, of course, broken down initially in the frame.
9.
His composure in general, of course, Trump is excellent. Slessor then hoping that there's another unexpected miss, but he needs to be ready if there is to take advantage.
$15. $16.
So, on another, that miss pink could have been very significant, but Trump has got the chance he needs to win the frame already over the line, of course. So the next frame is big for Slessor. If he goes to the interval 4-0 down, it's going to be so hard to turn this round. 3-1, still tough, but at least he would have something to hold on to.
31. 32. $39. 40.
No century on now, but we might see the odd exhibition shot maybe.
$47.
That was his best chance, wasn't it, to win a frame tonight, Slessor, but it's gone the same way as the others.
49.
I mean, he missed that red to right middle, and then when he got his other chance after the Trump miss, it seemed that something put him off, and I don't think he was imagining it, because
52.
yeah, Scullion got a little involved as well. But anyway, these things happen, and I suppose you have to just try and regroup. I don't like to see players put off by something, obviously accidentally, whoever it was who was on who put him off. But you know, you don't like to see that.
Well, Judd Trump can forget his own missed pink. It's all in the past. It hasn't made any difference. And he's halfway to victory inside 49 minutes. It's one-sided. Judd Trump leads Elliot Slessor in Belfast 3-0. Let's hear about Judd Trump's time on the World Snooker Tour. Well, these are the stats. You look at the pot success there, 67% Slessor, so clearly it just has to go up, doesn't it, for him to turn this around. Big frame coming up before the interval. If he can get on the scoreboard, he might just feel a bit more chipper about things. So Elliot Slessor to break in frame 4. He's only potted 8 balls so far in the first 3 frames. Judd Trump halfway to the final. Well, it's pretty relentless, isn't it? His long game was excellent last night against Sean Murphy.
Four. Five.
Yeah, he's getting in off Elliot's break, and it's quite worrying. He's leaving a red to left corner, as done the last 2 frames. He's broken off tonight. Usually the red is more likely to go into the right corner from a player's break. Either way, he's knocking them in. Well, that looks perfect. He could have overscrewed easily there and been on nothing. It looks like he's in the right place.
13.
Looks like it's business as usual for Trump. With a flat spot in the previous frame, perhaps.
$20. 21.
So far,
28.
sort of picking them off, but now running out of loose reds.
29.
So if he can get a good split, then it could well be 4-0.
That is a great split. Now, you do need a bit of luck still, but he couldn't really have got that cue ball into the reds more. I think every red moved there, which is quite unusual. It only just went there. Now, I think every red moved there. Normally there's a few that just stay still, and that shows you how well he struck them.
43.
Yeah, so now, as long as there's no unforced errors, what a chance to win the frame from his first shot. Remember, Slessor broke off. We know that Chris Henry is
50.
in his corner, who's well-regarded coach and works on the mental side of the game, and clearly he's going to have to try and work some sort of magic, but the problem is this man at the table.
51. 57. 58.
Little shot there. Also into an area where he was always going to be on. There was no way that he could not be, actually. And this has been something of a breeze.
63.
I don't know if Elliot Slesser is going to consider breaking off differently when he next gets to break, because he's left a good chance on both occasions. Well, he's left Judd a good chance. I'm not saying it for mere mortal mightn't find it so easy to pop the opening red. But on both occasions, he's hit it straight into the middle of the pocket and he's away straight away.
69.
A bit of a one-way traffic, quite honestly, and Slesser knows he's not the kind of player you'd like to play a qualifier or an outside table, because he's a really good, tough match player who's getting better all the time, but he's being absolutely swamped tonight, so far anyway.
Yeah, and Trump regained his composure after the miss to pink in the last
75.
frame. Slesser may have been put off, but his composure did go a bit. So Jack, well, he didn't really say anything, does he, at the interval, other than just carry on. Be more than satisfied with what he's seeing here.
82.
Well, he had that outside chance of the century in frame 2. The colours were very awkwardly positioned. He made 78 before missing the brown. But he can get to 33 for the season, which would be, what, about a third of the total towards that 100,000 bonus. That'll annoy him, but when he looks at the scoreboard, he'll be more than happy. OK, broke down on 90, so no century, but it's been all Judd Trump tonight. Times champion at the Northern Ireland Open, looking very good to set up a meeting in the final with the world champion Karen Wilson, because he leads Elliot Slesser at the break by 4 frames to 0. Now, of course, he won the Saudi Arabia Masters in the summer. Let's hear what he made of all of that.
Ladies and gentlemen, time to welcome back our players and ASL Judge
Thank you. Room 5, Judge Trump to break.
Well, it only took 56.5 minutes to get to the interval. Judd Trump sitting pretty, 4-0. And we know he won't back off, so it's up to Slessor now to try and get in and make something happen. It's the red that Trump potted at the start of the last frame. For a moment, it looked like he fluked it, but no, it stays over the pocket.
I must say, the first couple of rolls of that down the cushion, I felt that would drop in, but it just fell away. Hit when it that here, I thought this is going to drop. But I'll tell you now, these are not big pockets. As I said the other day, there's this suggestion that pockets are big on these tables. I've watched this week, and if you don't hit them right, they will not go in on this one. I think a lot of players would prefer that rather than some of the overseas events now, particularly Asian events, the pockets do seem to be bigger. Same for everybody, but maybe it's a different kind of challenge then. So immediately, as you'll see, he hunts down that red, which is next to the black. Move that, the black is freed. So that was why he went straight for that shot.
6.
Yeah, I think playing conditions have been excellent, and there's been the odd tournament this year where there's been complaints, but we haven't heard any here, so kudos to the table fitting staff. And it could well produce the world's 1 and 2 ranked players in the final. It's starting to look very likely now.
I mean, I always feel a little sorry for table fitters when there is criticism, because nobody could work harder than those individuals, because it's not a job you'd particularly relish doing, is it? Lifting big slates up and putting cloths on and wheeling tables in and out, assembling them. It's really a tough job, and they deserve credit, I think. And as you say, this week they've done a good job. Judd is doing a good job here, getting into the bunch, but they are slightly together. Not anymore, they're not.
Split.
I think the point about this, Dave, is you'd think that you have to go into the middle of the bunch, but that actually is not the way to do it. He went into the left side and sort of arced it back through. And that is the perfect split from a pack that was, well, they were nailed together.
20.
Yeah, I mean, he can maybe tell us afterwards, but I think performance after performance this week, taking it all together, this is the best he's played this season. Played great in Shanghai, obviously got the job done in Saudi, although Mark Williams was superb in the final, but he's backing it up every round here and not taking his foot off the gas, just trying to press on, get this one as quickly as possible.
28.
So an hour's playing time. And he's missed the black, wow. Off its spot.
28.
Who saw that coming? Frame just kind of looked over.
Thank you.
Interesting, isn't it? Because the pinky miss, he sort of overcut it as well.
1.
So that's out of nowhere, a chance has come up for Elliot Slessor, which he really has to take this and punish the error, which was a very poor error. I mean, everyone misses balls, but you don't expect Judd to miss a black off the spot right behind it, and that's what he's just done. Here it is. I mean, it's as easy as it gets, really, at this level.
Seven.
Well, he didn't hold back there. He's decided to get the black into play as a left-handed player. Yeah, he could really do with the black on his spot.
$14. 15.
Yeah, that struggled in a bit, but it went in off the jaw. Just a little hampered here. Oh, well, again, he nearly fluked it. Yeah, he needs everything at the moment, I guess, to be really simple, and as I say, was hampered.
I don't think it made a lot of difference if that went in that fluke, because either way he'd have been at the other end of the table. As you said at the time, he was slightly awkwardly placed on it, but not to the extent that he would miss.
Gonna miss. Judd Trump.
Yeah, you can't afford to think it's over, because, I mean, Judd Trump will tell you he was 4-0 down in Riyadh, first round to Bouguiza. That was a best of 9. He won 5-4.
Good shot. It's one of those scenarios where you can't quite work out how this is going to unfold, with the black covering the reds in that pocket. Often all the reds will end up going over into that corner. Didn't look great, but actually I'm not certain that he's left anything anywhere, really. Nothing to the left side appears to go. Not going to be an easy one to sort out, this. Just think he's got to play thin off of one of those reds on the left side if he can, end up in behind the yellow. I think that's all he could do. It's quite a good shot. Not made anything very easy for Elliott to play here. different sort of a frame to the ones we've seen now.
Yeah, it's been a tale of two missed blacks. I mean, the one from Judd Trump was the shocker, really, because, you know, he'd not missed much tonight. Certainly the one he did miss. Well, how many of those does he miss during a whole season? And of course, when Slessor missed, the black's gone. Well, this was it from Trump. I mean, the frame, you know, was at his mercy.
Never got all that close to it either. It came away from the pocket, the black, back towards the black spot. Maybe he just was ahead of himself. That's all I can think of. And he was on to the next shot in his mind.
It's rather unpleasant now, isn't it? Remember the very first Northern Ireland final at the Titanic Centre, the black was there, wasn't it? And Mark King, very late on, needed a snooker and he spent about 10 minutes before getting the pink on top of it against Barry Hawkins.
Well, he's looking here. You wouldn't imagine there could be room, but he's looking to see if he pots his red. Finished tight on the cushion. He seems to think there's a way through to that black. I mean, it looks from that view as if it might happen, but I mean, it looked to me when I first saw this table from the overhead, absolutely no chance of getting on the black, but maybe there is. This is why we love snooker. Every frame that's played is different. I don't think anyone saw something like this cropping up in frame 5. It's been pretty fluent stuff from Judd Trump. Now this.
One.
Can he get through from there? He's just off the cushion. Ooh. Leo will be hovering here. Leo Scully, the referee. I mean, that looks mighty tight. Yeah. Sort of thing you'd see in one of the old local league games. You hit it 1,000 miles an hour. No one knows what's been hit first. All a blur.
It's been a bad night. I don't fancy risking it.
I mean, judge for yourself at home. I reckon he might just could hit the pink on the way through. I don't know. It's very close.
Yellow ball.
Well, had he played it, it would have opened the frame up one way or another, but we're back to this now.
Elliot Slessor, 1.
looking to see if it's become a big pocket.
Well, it might be able to go in there, but I don't think it's a big pocket, is it? But I know he's looking at somehow squeezing that red past the black. It all looks a bit congested to me. Be a good shot if he gets it. Of course, the problem is he might double kiss the black on the red if he's not careful, and clearly it's not going to drop then, but see how he gets on with this. Maybe he should have hit a bit harder.
The question was, where would it all finish? And he has left a red on for Trump.
Listen, it's easy afterwards, but I mean, he's absolutely hit that as hard as it's possible to hit the snooker ball. I can't imagine how that anything could have gone in there.
So it's been a while since Trump missed that black off the spot, but he's back in with another chance for 5-0.
8. Nine.
Of course, the other thing is, Dave, we've seen that kind of scenario with a ball over a pocket, a colour and the reds in front of it go on for an eternity, haven't we, in matches? Half an hour, 45 minutes, where very little that happens.
I mean, it's ended in a re-rack before now, but anyway, this will not be re-racked. This, as I say, should be 5-0 now.
15.
And I guess the disappointment is you can't say... I mean, the previous frame he had one shot. In this frame, it looked like he was going to have one shot. You can't say that there wasn't an error from Trump. There was a potentially big one. Remember the missed pink earlier tonight as well, but finished.
20.
Slesser was in long before Nissi was in. In fact, the reason the black finished there was because he missed it. So Trump 36 in front, just looking to kill this off.
21.
One more red needed.
$27.
Well, Slesser has not been a good night. Getting worse.
Up to 3.
Well, he's a crowd favourite, isn't he? And it's hardly surprising, the value for Trump, the way that he plays, style of snooker, accuracy and the speed of his pots. And towards the end of a frame, he can do things which the crowd enjoy. And Alex Higgins himself was one of the very first who would entertain at the end of a frame with some brilliant shots. Very one-sided match so far, this one.
Yeah, he made a big error, or so it seemed at the time, when he was nicely in, missed the black off the spot. It would have annoyed him, but he can forget about it now. He's won the frame all the same. So Judd Trump one away, leading 5-0. Well, it was a funny old frame because, as I say, it looked to be very sort of straightforward once Trump got in. Of course, he did leave this red off the break-off and very nearly Slesser fluked it.
Yeah, and it stayed over the pocket and you thought, well, it's going to be more of the same. But it did take an unexpected twist, this frame, didn't it? Midway through, just when Trump was starting to knock a few in again. Got that red away from the black. Magnificent split. But all of a sudden this, I mean, where did that come from? He didn't even get very close to potting that, to be honest. Slesser then had a chance of his own, and as Dave said at the time, he had awkward queuing on this next black. The red on the right of the cue, here it is. It is awkward queuing, but not so much that he should miss it. And then, of course, that's when the black went close to the pocket and a few of the reds went around it. And, I mean, he really hit this so hard for the sort of shot it was going to be. It was trying to just slide it past the black, but it was all a bit too frenetic, really. And in a way, that this frame is more worrying than the others, because it's the one frame that Trump showed a bit of weakness, but Slesser has not exploited it. And that last shot put paid to any chances in it. That 5-0 feels like a question of how long this match will go on for. Can't think there's any kind of a comeback likely.
Well, Slesser's going to break, isn't he, in the next frame? And from what we've seen, you know, that might be all Trump needs. They're the stats. All looking very good for Judd Trump. Long potting 3 out of 6, so 50%. But the top line is the one, isn't it? 5-0, and Slesser's highest break only 15. So it's been a bit of a nightmare evening for him. He may start swinging his cue at a few now. You know, you could see him maybe winning a couple of frames that way, but it's going to be very hard to see how Trump can't win this now. Well, Alex Slesser's had better Saturday nights. I think that's 100% true. Anyway, 5-0. Let's see if he can avert the whitewash at least here. Already a red coming up the table. Trump has made the odd error, but not many, and they haven't been punished. So he needs one to take on Corin Wilson tomorrow in the final. I do feel this tournament has been excellent. It's been so well supported, and it kind of deserves a blockbuster final, which it certainly would be if it was the world champion against the world number 1. Of course, we had the 3 finals. One of them actually was in the Milton Keynes in lockdown, but we had the 3 finals in a row between Judd Trump and
Nice shot. He certainly played to glide the cue ball off the side of the bunch of reds. I mean, the pot's not easy, this. Quite thin. Played fairly slowly. And, of course, this black would not be easy either. Hand on the cushion rail. Doesn't appear there's an easy red to follow it up. I don't know if anything goes through the gap. Maybe. But he's not right behind the red, which is the issue, I suppose. Slightly off-putting, but the reds are not really in the way. It's a completely clear view to the pocket. I mean, it absolutely flies. One of those shots you just got to ignore the reds that you feel might be in the way, because clearly we saw that they're just not. It's an open pocket from where he was. Didn't play it with a huge amount of confidence, though, with the cue ball. If he's playing this black, it's a massive shot to be playing. It's really tough.
Judd Trump 9.
It's never been an easy shot for anyone that's ever picked a cue up, anything like that, on black from the side cushion.
Well, he's played very well in this tournament, Elliot Sless. He's worked hard to get his chance on this table, so
8.
it'd be great if he could now show this crowd what he can do. He's not here by accident in the semi-finals.
9.
No, I mean, his section of the draw, it opened up nicely, and not to say he wouldn't have got through against anybody in that part of the draw, because he has beaten the likes of O'Sullivan a couple of times. Beat him here in Belfast, beat him in the Chinese event, in which Ronnie made a 147 in the match. So he's a really good player, but
16.
as Dave said, it'd be nice to think he could do something from here.
17.
Yeah, because apart from anything else, it's such a great occasion, isn't it? Saturday night at the Waterfront Hall in Belfast. Big crowd, playing the world number one. You want to put on a show. It's just not happening, though, is it?
Elliot Slesser,
Well,
17.
all I can say is he's hit some of the balls tonight so hard. I don't think I've ever seen anyone hit balls at this speed. I mean, he has absolutely leathered this. Surely there's too much adrenaline involved in it, because your accuracy, it's impossible to keep control of it, I think. It's easy to do that, though. I can remember the first time Kyron Wilson ever played at the Crucible. He was hitting the balls a little too hard. It was a black ball frame in which he overhit it, missed it. Going back a few years now, because he learned to sort of rein all that in a little bit. Still got to hit them firmly, but that last black, goodness, he really did. The cue ball had absolutely nothing left on it by the time it got to the reds.
8.
I think reluctantly he's going to have to play a safety shot here.
Judd Trump 8. One.
Yeah, right in the middle of nowhere he's finished.
Elliot's lesson 1.
Yeah, I mean, 5-0 down. He's just decided to have a go. It didn't happen again for him.
Crumb of comfort would be he didn't actually get on the ready played on, which of course you don't want to do that when you miss a colour. This is the other side of the Judd Trump game, isn't it? That area that he's tried to land the cue ball. He's left one red completely on, but not to pot. This has got to be very thin. Oh goodness, everything that can go wrong is at the moment. I think he's lost his cool a bit, I have to say, and it's very difficult out there. He kind of to rush into that shot a little bit. It was a very awkward safety shot.
One. Rainbow.
And he hit it smack on.
Well, it seems very likely to be Wilson v Trump in the final, and that is going to be some occasion. Karen Wilson has been looking so confident all year. And of course, he beat Trump in a final in China. One thing's for sure, they're going to put on a show, aren't they, for the audience? It's going to be a great occasion, assuming Trump wraps this up.
12.
Yeah, I mean, he's not there, but I agree with you. You know, if it does happen, it seems awfully likely that it will be. It's going to be an absolute humdinger of a match, I think.
13.
It's not easy. These have been missed, a few of these this week. But not this time. Wonder if we are actually seeing a slight shift in the game. You know, the 30-somethings starting to really live up to their billing. You know, Judd, 35, Cara a bit younger. Class of 92, not been seeing quite as much of them this season. And of course, we have seen John Higgins in the final and Mark Williams doing well in Saudi, but we might just be seeing that generation below thriving at the moment. These two right at the top of the tree.
27.
Well, is he on this red? Is the concern. Doesn't look like it from his body language.
No, there might have been a gap through to it, but not quite there. You can see what he was hoping for, just to cross a little further. I don't think there's any need for him to take any undue risks. Well, he certainly won't be doing that if he's rolling up to this red.
Judd Trump, 27.
Definitely not taking a risk.
Oh, you miss.
Good grief, it's getting worse for Elliot, I'm afraid. Just didn't make contact with the red. sure the crowd would have liked to have seen a close match, an exciting one, but they will also appreciate this young man. Of course, they've taken him to their hearts over the years here.
Three.
It's not quite done yet, but this potentially could be the winning shot. He's 33 in front already, 51 on. Needs a couple more reds.
Four.
Not to be for Elliot Slesser, but he's had a good week overall. I don't think right now he'll be thinking about that, but the rankings have had a boost. Looking good in that Players Series, which is based on the one-year list. Judd Trump will be in everything, and he's in the mood at the moment to win everything. This then is match ball. We've only been going 89 minutes tonight. And it's not over yet.
Judd Trump, 11.
I mean, he could have rolled that in. It's not really in his nature to play it slowly, but it was only that he required. So here's something. Well done. So there's a chance of stealing this frame now, and it's a real opportunity.
Eight. Nine.
That's a good shot in the end. But he has to take the pink. The blue would only allow him to tie the frame. Oh, no. Oh, no. I'm afraid that is that.
It's a shame it ended like that, but Judd Trump really has bossed it tonight. So the Northern Ireland Open final will see the world champion take on the world number one. It's Kyren Wilson against Judd Trump for the title. Yeah, it was the Judd Trump show, wasn't it? All the stats clearly him. There were a few errors, but they went unpunished. That's a pretty miserable end for Elliot Slesser, wasn't it? Missing chance to at least win a frame. But as I say, the stats certainly on the healthy side for Trump, and most importantly, I guess, an early night as well. It didn't go late into the night. He's got plenty of time once he's done his media commitments to get ready for what is a massive day on Sunday. The top two ranked players in the world, the world champion and the world number one, going toe-to-toe, and, well, we can't wait. This is just to confirm, of course, it was a bit of a longer match, more of a struggle for Kyren Wilson earlier, 6-4 over Pang. Trump 6-0. Who's going to come through then? Is it Wilson? Is it Trump? We can't wait to find out. Promises to be a very, very memorable Sunday.